50% turns out to be like the tax rate that's stable. Like when the government gets strong enough that they're going to take as much money as they can, they generally take like 50% of everything, and they kind of can get away with taking half. Yeah. But when you get to the point where you're taking 90% of everything, people just think, I'm just not going to work anymore. I'm leaving if I can get out. And I'm not, this is not worth the trouble, right? And the famous example in the Beatles song is it's 19 parts for you and 1 for me, because the tax rate in Britain was 95%. Bitcoin and digital, then there's no point in invading that country because you're not getting anything. But because, first of all, if you did invade the country, unless you did it in an hour or less and no one knew, all the Bitcoin will be gone from the country, right? It's going to be wired off into cyberspace, put into some time lock multi-sig, or it's going to another country. The Bitcoin can move faster than the army can move. So it's not really that and I pass a law taxing Bitcoin 5% a year or 50%, the Bitcoin leaves the country, right? And Bitcoin is mobile property in the cyber domain. The example of this in the real domain is, there was an island in the Mediterranean that I won't name that came up with the idea of taxing yachts. It had a bunch of super yachts there. And they decided that all these super yacht owners had a lot of money and it was unfair that they should be there, even though the yachts are spending millions of dollars a year on dockage and buying food and buying drink and paying for services. But their thought was, we just want more. It's not enough. So they passed a law taxing the super yachts, thinking that they were such a great place. And all the yachts were in the port until the day before the law went in. And then the day the law went into action, the entire port was empty and the yachts never came back. Yep. And the entire economy crashed. All the shop owners, all were going bankrupt. They went back to the politicians and said, that was a pretty stupid law. Can we reverse that one? And they reversed that. And then the yachts came back. Yachts are mobile property, right? But of course, Bitcoin is a lot better than a yacht. If you're going to